Hi golfers, welcome to this week's newsletter Golf Tip. And this week I wanted to speak and help you with a slicing problem. And again, it's very much along the lines of the fundamentals, and it's all about grip pressure. And I think if you're a big slicer of the golf ball, I could chop the amount that your ball moves through the air, slices through the air, in half, or if you've got a just annoying little tail on your shot, pretty much lose that to a very small, hardly noticeable fade. And yeah, grip pressure. So many people, and it's talked about all the time, grip pressure, and it's kind of taken notice of and kind of forgotten about immediately. But to put it simply, if your club is trying to make this movement through the golf swing, especially through impact, if your hand grip pressure is, let's say, 10 out of 10, the maximum, you're almost squashing the shaft of the golf club, your arms, one, can't rotate as your body rotates, therefore you can't keep the club face looking at your swing path. But two, when you get really tight with your grip pressure, it goes all up your arms and into your shoulders, and we tend to see sort of really sawn off follow-throughs like that. When someone holds the club at 4 or 5 out of 10 pressure-wise, straight away, and I'm not trying to do anything different, the weight of the club is keeping a really good flow during my golf swing, but most noticeably, the club face will square up. As you can see there, the club face coming back to look at the camera. If I tighten my hands up, straight away my forearms can't let the club continue. And what happens is then, because of that, the body rotates more and pulls the club across you with a slightly open club face, and you've got your curvature on the ball, your fade to the right. So the trick for when next time you play, if you take it to the course, ideally to a practice ground first, and we talk about a grip pressure of being an amount out of 10. Now I think most golfers, especially the more aggressive hitting ones or more proud of how far they hit the ball, think they're a 4 or 5 out of 10, but actually probably are 10 out of 10. So if you're along that camp, try and think you're a 1 or a 2, to the point where your club's going to fall out of your hand. If you just think you're a little bit too tight, again, let's try and drop back to a 3 or 4 out of 10. Again, experiment when you're on the practice ground, warming up even, in the driving net, or the driving range when you next go to it. See how soft you can grip the club. I guarantee you it won't go flying down the range unless it's raining. But what you will see, I think, is an increase in speed of the club head, so more distance, a squarer club face to where you were aiming it in the first place, and yeah, a more predictable shot because of all of those ingredients. And that's got to be a better thing going forward. So grip pressure, have a think on it. Really think, really dial into how much pressure you're putting through your hands. And that's why you need to practice at first, trying to hold it as softly as you can to the point where you think you're going to let it go flying down the drive range. But you won't, because naturally, like any impact, whether it's somebody kicking a football, someone throwing a punch, wherever we're approaching an impact, we will tense our muscles naturally, instinctively. So even if you start with a 1 or a 0 out of 10, maybe a 1 out of 10, otherwise you'd let go of the club, you will end up at minimum 3, 4 or 5 out of 10. So give it a go, let me know how you get on, but I really do think you'll see a big progress in the quality of your shots. And you're probably looking at this video thinking, I've seen this, I've heard this 100 times over, but do me a favour, if that's what you're thinking, next time you go and hit a golf ball, wherever it may be, just relax that grip and let me know how much everything improves, but also how much you feel the weight of the club head. And then that transfers down to the rest of the game, which will also help out your short game when you come to play those little delicate chip shots around the green and those wedge shots from about 50 or 60 yards, where feel, which comes from your hands initially, is most important. And if you're tight, you're not going to have any feel. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let me know how you get on, put it in the comments, or let me know when you go past the shop next time after you play with your soft hands, your soft grip, and yeah, I'll be interested to see how you get on. If you need any help, or that helps discover any other weaknesses during your shots, then please give us a shout in the shop and we can book you in for a lesson. Many thanks.